Hello everybody, it's me, the Real Local Maniac. I'm back again with another 8-Bit Wars. Now as you can see, today I'll be playing the classic game, which is Rodlands. Now Rodlands used to be one of my favourite arcade games ever. It played very similar to Bubble Bobble, but with just a few little differences, and it had its own unique little touch. Now guys, pay attention to the little story there in the intro, telling you what's actually happened. So yeah, with this 8-Bit Wars, we'll have a look at the arcade game first, followed by the Spectrum, Amstrad, and then the Commodore 64. Now here's the other story here. It's not the best written. Look, Mum is kidnapped by a monster. Check out that music. Mum is taken atop the Maboots Tower. So guys, with the 8-Bit Wars, this one in particular, we're going to compare it to the arcade game. So we're going to see which of the three home 8-bit computers was the best port, basically. Now we're going to judge it on music, accuracy to the actual arcade, gameplay, sound, backgrounds, just overall thing. Now let's just talk a little bit about this arcade game here. So what you're meant to do is you're meant to collect... Well, you don't have to collect all the little flowers like I just did. You can collect them to get an extra life. What you have to do is with your little stick thing, you're meant to hit the baddies, whack them around, and then once you've done that, they die and they leave you a nice little power-up, which hopefully you can use. So yeah, basically, like Bubble Bobble, you've got to clear all the baddies from the level. And you can also create little ladders as well to help you along. You can create ladders going up and ladders going down. Now I love the art style of this. Check out the backgrounds, they look like they've really been done with a sort of felt tip pen sort of thing. Yeah, the graphics kind of remind me of the graphics in Yoshi's Islands. So let me just beat the crap out of that monster. I love the graphics, so yeah, check out the main character sprite there and the enemy sprites, because that's the other thing we're going to compare it on. So yep, I'm going to leave them there. I'm going to collect my little flowers. Gets me an extra game. Now I'm going to finish this guy off now. Yep, and you collect little things there to get like an extra life as well. It's a great game. Now I want you to pay attention to, I've done what, 2 levels in this, and this little bit comes up here. Enter the tower to rescue your mum. The level layouts vary on the 3 home-bit computer versions. So you'll see what I mean in a bit anyway. But this, I forgot to mention, it's a 2-player game, and it's a great 2-player game. Let me collect all those little flowers. I love the graphics in this, they're really cute, they're really sort of memorable as well. Once again I collected all the things there. E-speedy up, so I collected all my little flowers. Oops, didn't mean to climb up that ladder. Got a rubbish control pad that I'm using. There we go. Now this is a ZX Spectrum version. Check out that music. It's a nice rendition there. And then you've got the rods of Shisanomo or whatever. Apparently it's a gift from your dad. Now the intro is very similar to the intro that you got in the arcade there. Rainbow shoes given to you by the elder. Fight using the rods and the shoes. Now I don't remember them using the shoes, but I remember using the rods. Right, so let's get this game started. Again, it's a 2-player game. So let's select my controls, which I'm going to go for Sinclair. And exits 2 exits. And I'm going to go for 1 player because it's just me playing this particular game today. Check out the music. And the little story there telling you what's happened. Mum is kidnapped by a monster. Mum is taking atop the Maboots Tower. So far this is, you know, a really accurate version of the actual arcade there, minus all the colour. Right, so the first thing you'll notice, this game's completely black and white. It's got no music while you're playing. But I tell you what, all the sprites, okay, maybe a little bit smaller than the actual sprites in the arcade, but they look very similar. But just black and white basically. And this game does control very well. It's really easy to sort of place your ladders, move up and down, and it moves at a nice decent speed. Okay, now unlike the arcade, when you collect all the things, doesn't sort of like come out with big writing saying extra, but it does at the bottom, sort of thing. It's got some nice sound effects as well, which pretty much match the arcade. Now this is the Amstrad version. Some nice music there on the Amstrad version. Very similar to the Spectrum, very similar to the arcade. Right, so let's get this game started. So it's loading up the first level. Now, unlike the Spectrum version, this actually has got loads of colour, and it's a really bright, it's a good looking little game here. Now, I personally don't think the graphics are as nice as the Spectrum. They look a little bit more sort of distorted, but I do love the use of colour there. I think it looks really good. It probably has the most use of colour in all the 3 different versions on the home bit computers. Oh god. So let me collect some little flowers if I can. Actually, I just killed that baddie due to time constraints to making the video. Don't you think that baddie looks somewhat like Pikachu? Whoa, don't want to be doing that. Now this doesn't play as fast as the ZX Spectrum, but it still plays at a different speed, and the controls play pretty, they're pretty responsive as well. So on to the next bit here. Now I forgot to mention the way the Spectrum version was laid out is pretty much more accurate to the level layout of the arcade. This one does slightly vary it a bit, as well as Commodore 64. Whoa, I died. Once again, this doesn't have any music, but it does have your nice little sound effects, very similar to the ZX Spectrum version. Okay, it's loading up the next level there. And again, all the nice, sprites, they look very similar to the arcade game. Now this 8-Bit Wars is going to be a tough 8-Bit Wars. Guys, as always, please feel free to give me your feedback and let me know whether you agree or disagree with me on my choice of winner. Right, so this is the Commodore 64 version. It's a nice little intro there, just pretty much like the arcade. Same old storyline, your mum getting kidnapped by a monster. Apparently she's taken on top of the tower. Now, unlike the Specky, this has got some nice colours there. It looks pretty similar to the arcade there. I'm not too sure of the colour scheme actually, it's a little bit too much brown. Right, so there we go, that's the title screen there, they're just sitting there, don't know what that is, a fluffy little dog. Now check out that music. That music is absolutely fantastic, beautiful rendition. It probably is the best rendition out of all 3 different versions. But again, guys, I'm going to basically call it like, which version is closest to the arcade. So I'm going to judge it on graphics, gameplay, the look, control-wise, and absolutely everything. So the most accurate version to the arcade game. Now guys, this is going to be a tough one because all 3 different versions are absolutely fantastic. And like I said, guys, please feel free to give me your feedback and let me know whether you're going to agree or disagree with my choice of winner. Now, this hasn't got like the background color like the Amstrad version, but again, look at the explosion there. That looks really, really nice. Now, I don't think this moves as fast as the Specky version, but it moves at the same pace as the Amstrad. I'm not too keen on the colour scheme, but that was really accurate to the arcade game there. Once you clear out all the flowers, it comes up saying extra game. Now, if you have played this game as well, please let me know what your personal experience was of the arcade game or the version that you actually owned on the 8-bit computer. It would be nice to know. Right, so I think I'm going to have to choose a winner for today's 8-Bit Wars. Like I said, sometimes it's always a little bit controversial, but what you guys got to try and remember, I did it on 03 computers, so I'm not going to be biased to one particular system. So today's winner of the 8-Bit War is going to be... It's a tough one. It's either going to be the ZX Spectrum or the Amstrad. I like the Amstrad's background colour, but I do think that the Spectrum slightly wins it because the sprites look a little bit more realistic. It's got the level layout more like the arcade, and it moves at that faster pace. So, yep, guys, today's winner of the 8-Bit Wars is the ZX Spectrum, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.